Welcome to another episode of the Gentlemen's Dialogue. Again, happy holidays to everybody. We're still in the holiday season. Hoping you guys have started your new year off with a bang. Hopefully you have, I don't like to use the term resolutions because it's just, to me, that's just a fad that people kind of, list and they start with and say, then all of a sudden, a week, 2 weeks later, you know what, you've forgotten all about it. Hopefully you have established some goals, personal goals, financial goals, spiritual goals, physical goals, emotional goals. Establish some things that are going to make you a better person. But again, it's to each his own. But before we get into the show today, I wanted to welcome again, as always, my sidekick, Solo the Don. Solo, how you feeling, my brother? Happy holidays to you, my man.
Oh, yeah. Happy holidays, man. Good to be here. Happy to do another episode and speak to the people. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm always good, bro. Always good, man. Even if I'm not, I'm still good.
Oh, yeah.
You brought up a topic, man, that I think that would be, it's something great that I think we could kind of expound upon for the listeners. We kind of just title this, preparing for what you want. And it literally is just as the title, preparing for what you want. We have to establish things, steps we have to do to be prepared for things that we ask for or that we want. We want them, but do you know what it takes to get there, to get them, to achieve that? So Solo, Look at here, man. You know what? I'm gonna let you kick us off today, my brothers. A new year, let's do something different.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm here for it. So yeah, it's we wanted to speak to everybody and just, I guess it's kind of like something to keep in mind because when you think about things overall, whether it's it could be anything. It could be something as small as maybe you want to get some new clothes for your closet, and maybe your style is changing, or it could be something that's a little bit more complicated. You might want to go into home ownership. You might want to you might want to get a car, or it might be your first car, whatever the case may be. It could be a career goal. You might be looking to change careers. You might be in one field, but a different field has caught your attention, and you've been doing what you've been doing for a while, and you're looking for something different. So the main thing we want to get across is, once you decide that you want to do something, then it sounds simple, but just do the research and understand what it takes to get what you want. And because the goal is, when you reach a goal, you want to make that accomplishment, but you also want to keep it, because if it's, say, in terms of a house, you know that you want to get your credit together, you want to have some sort of down payment, you have to have your work history. And you might know that's what it takes to get the house, but you also have to think about what it takes to keep the house, because the goal isn't just to get the house and then give it to somebody else. You want to stay in it long term. And I was thinking too, is kind of funny, but in relationships, whatever your relationship goals are, because you want to think about what you want from all aspects, because especially sometimes, speaking to my fellas, we get into relationships and we know that we're supposed to protect and provide. That's oftentimes, depending on the case, that's the easy part. But then you might, like a friend of mine, he told me the other day that, him and his girl was having some issues because she doesn't want for anything. And she told him, it's like, hey, I appreciate everything you've done for me, but we don't spend enough time together. And it's just one of those things where sometimes you may not realize that you might have an idea of what you want and what it takes to maintain it, but sometimes, depending on what it can be, it's a little bit deeper than that. So we just want to encourage people to, as you're chasing your dreams, as you're reaching goals and doing things in your life that you want to do, to just take the time to learn and expand your knowledge on what you're going after. Because even on the reverse, it could be a situation where, you think you want something and you sacrifice, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you finally get it. And then after a while, it's like, well, you know what? This isn't really working out the way I thought it was. I'm not really enjoying this the way that I thought I did, because we're always changing and doing different things. But overall, just nothing is perfect. And we're not saying that, you have to know 200% like all of the ins and outs of a situation, but just know enough to make it. And when you do reach that goal, it's one of the best feelings in the world. But you want to, when you get to a place of completion with your goal that you're chasing, you want to maintain it as well. And there's also a cost. There's a cost to get it, but there's also a cost to maintain it and keep it. Because we want to see you reach your goal and stay there. We don't want to see you, whatever your goal may be. It could be a career, it could be a degree, whatever it is. We want to see you reach your goals, and we encourage you guys to get out there, guys and girls. Live your life, enjoy yourself, make time for the things that you want to do, and as you reach your goals, just make sure that you prepare for it and you have an idea of what you're getting into, so there's not too much that could catch you off guard.
Write down the steps that are necessary for every goal that you have. Yes. A lot of times we go after our wants. We know what we want. We see the end game, but when you write it down, it shows you every step that you have to take in order to get there.
Absolutely.
If you write it down, there may be some steps involved that you may decide that, man, I don't want no parts of that.
That's a good point.
And it'll help you determine whether that want is really more of a want, or is it more of something that you need. It'll also kind of split the two. A lot of times there are things that we want, but there are things that sometimes I think that we are in need of, that we put to the side, and we put more priorities on the wants versus the needs. If you know that, hey, if it's 2020, new year, you want a better body. And when I say body, I mean inside and outside. You got to write down what's required to get that better body. I got to do curls to get my arms right. But write it down. How many sets do I have to do? And what days do I have to do them on? How many days will it require? How many months will I have to do this? If you want to be married, whether this year, next year, or whenever, you can't wait to prepare yourself as a groom or a bride. When it's time to get married, you prepare yourself so that when the time comes, you are already prepared. Your table should already be set. Don't wait until you have guests before you set the table. You set the table before they ring the doorbell. So at the end of the day, we want, like Solo was talking about, you may decide, hey, I want to be a homeowner this year. You may have to go to some homeowner training classes, something that'll kind of help you line up the things that you want. You can't go out and buy a new car and go out and get some credit cards and then a month later say, oh, yeah, I'm ready to buy a house. No, you don't need to make purchases. You don't need to open up new credit accounts. You need to lower your debt. You get your debt income ratio in order. You also have to understand that, all right, now I got to pay somebody to cut my grass. How much is that going to cost me each year? I may have a hot water heater that may go out. Again, this may a new house. Typically you get a warranty, but you still got some upkeep. But let's just say you buy a house. The house is 10 years old already. You may wind up having to get a roof. You need to make sure that you have the money to be able to maintain that want. If you don't, You keep on paying for the need for now until you're able to get that want. So, I just wanted to jump in and want to interrupt you solo, but
Oh, no,
that's one of a couple of the things I wanted to, to talk about, preparing for what you want. We can't wait. You have to do your homework. Do your homework. Every time it's something you want, do your homework on it. Let's just say, you want a new Rolex watch, right? All right. That's a want. All right. Well, look them up. Do your research on Rolex watches. Determine whether this is really something I really, really want. But if you write it down, if you pay attention, do your research, you may realize, man, this $300 Movado gives me the same luxury as I get with this, $5,000 Rolex. Let's look at some of our decisions that we make as human beings. I'm going off into something else, but we're so captured by like name brand stuff. I know some women out there that you would think that they are wearing $5,000 worth of clothes in an outfit, but it's stuff they got from Target. But they learn how to put pieces together. They know how to put shoes together, some fly shoes with some $12 or $15 jeans and a $10 shirt. Then they put some jewelry on, it might be some Tiffany jewelry or whatever to highlight everything, but they just know how to do it. Mm-hmm. These are skill sets that we all need to learn how to do. But again, I don't want to get on this tangent of talking about, name brand and clothes and all that stuff. But I just made that point to say, hey, sometimes we need to reevaluate our wants. Sometimes just write it down and say, is this a want or is it a need? Make sure your needs are met first before you start satisfying your wants.
Yes.
Life will be a whole lot easier if you do that. So back to you, Solo. Just wanted to jump in just for a second, bro.
Oh yeah, and I love that point. You made me think. That's very crucial, because you definitely want to write your goals down. Vision boards, whatever works for you. Definitely. I heard somebody say one time, learn how to think on paper. And ever since then, writing out is one of the most crucial parts to anything is having your plan on paper, because I know there's some people out there, they have excellent memory and they can just see something one time and their brain is their paper. But for myself and a lot of people that I know, I have everything written down, passwords and all. And the thing is, I just I wasn't thinking about it, but also when you realize what's a need and what's a want, also I wanted to make the point to pace yourself, and depending on what it is, you don't want to burn yourself out trying to do everything at one time. You want to be more of a master of a trade versus a jack of all trades and master of none. But definitely make sure that when you're out here moving, that was also an excellent point too, figuring out the difference between your needs and your wants, because sometimes we may want something and you might want it so bad you might mistaken it for a need, or you might try to say, well, you know what, I know this is a want, but if I just act like I need it, and it's not really how things work. You want to make sure that your needs are always met first before you take on something else. And it's nothing wrong with the wants, but it's just all about priorities and a balance.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's
if you like Steve was saying, you want to get that better body, and you might want to work out your arms or work out your legs, whatever it may be. And I mean, I got taste buds just like everybody else. So you also have to, the reason why we brought this up is because you want to understand the sacrifice, because I'm telling you, man, it's hard to, when you're working out and you're trying to get your body together, it's hard to say no to, your guilty pleasures.
Bro, I just threw a lot of shit away a couple days ago because I know I can't eat, no matter what kind of gym routine you may have or start to develop or whatever, start following.
Oh yeah.
You can't go hit your treadmill. You can't do your weights and, you're running, whatever it is you do, your kettlebell. You can't do all of that and then come home and eat you 3 or 4 ho-hos and yo-yos, and then say, oh man, I worked out. Take the stuff that is tempting.
Yeah.
Remove the temptation. Again, I don't believe in wasting anything. But at the same time, I realize, man, I got some stuff in my fridge. I need to get rid of this. Or I got some stuff sitting out, it's on my counter that I need to get rid of, because if I don't, no matter how strong I am, you don't want to walk a recovering crack addict into a crack house and tell them, don't be tempted.
Right.
Don't have those double stuffed Oreo cookies sitting out there, waiting on you, or that, Captain Crunch cereal, or those Cocoa Puffs and
Man.
That Nancy's pizza and those lemon pepper wings, whether wet, dry, powder, dried, rub, whatever.
Man.
You can't have that stuff around you and expect to get it. You got to get it in. This is a new year.
Oh yeah.
We want everybody to up their game, and guess what? We're going to up our game with you.
Absolutely.
It's not just talking the talk, but it's about walking the walk. So, hey, this again, it's a new year. Let's all kind of go through and follow each other and push each other and hold each other accountable for things that we want to do, things that we want to get accomplished. Just like Young Dolph said in his song, he was, telling this girl, go get that degree. If that's something you want to, you want to do, we always say, it's not the right time, but in life, when is it ever really the right time? You gotta do what it is you gotta do. Make it happen. Get together with some friends. Come form a investment group where you guys buy stocks together.
There you go.
Form an investment group. Again, something I'm huge on, where you start looking at pieces of real estate. We got the interest rates that are slowly creeping down. The Feds are going to probably make a few more adjustments, or before the first quarter is over in 2024. Then they're probably going to make a couple more in second quarter. We may see another one or two in third and fourth quarter of 2024. Take advantage of that.
Yes.
You're going to see, that the price of life will go down slightly, when they make those adjustments. The money's going to cost less. Come together. Not only is it a great idea to come together and start investing together, but what does it also do? That creates a level of accountability when you are with others.
Yeah.
And everybody is assigned something to do in terms of that group project. Hey, you know what? Hey, you look at some houses here on the east side. Hey, you go look for 4 houses on the west side. You look at 2 on the north side. You look at 2 on the south side. Mm-hmm. So everybody's got an assignment. Yep. Then you come back and you bring those houses, and then you start working out your calculations to see, this is the purchase price. This is how much it would cost us to buy. This is how much it would cost each of us out of pocket. This is what it would cost each of us until we either sold the house or until we rent the house out. You do your analysis. Here are the operating expenses for that real estate. This is the return rate that we'll get. The money cost us, 6%, but we can make 25%. I mean, you're up. It's a win-win. So do that. Also, you know what? Just form a group where once a month everybody gets together for either lunch or brunch or dinner. Again, it's accountability, but it's also allowing you to check on your brothers and your sisters, as you maneuver through this thing we call life.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's not in a good place in life. So, I know, we started off talking about, a whole nother subject, but, that's just what we do. We this isn't scripted, so sometimes when something hits you, you just got to roll with it. But again, we got to hold, this year needs to be the year of mental health, of stressing mental health and making sure that, your friends, your family, that everyone is good. And if they're not good, you need to be able to recognize the signs so that you can do what it takes to lend a hand, to help, and try to be positive to everybody. You just never know what somebody's going through. That positive, that smile you gave somebody, that hello you gave somebody. And women, I know sometimes, fellas get that smile, that wave or whatever, kind of distorted. And now all of a sudden, oh man, she's trying to holler at me, don't think about that. Just sometimes that brother just needs that smile. That brother just needs that kind of that nod, like, how you doing today? Or even just ask, hey, how are you today? Fellas, when we get that question sometimes from people, especially people who we know and, and are close to, man, stop giving the same general answer. Hey man, oh, it's all good. I'm good. Everything's fine. Go into detail. That helps, I think, with the mental side of sometimes the things that we are going through. If you're not having a good day, well, damn it, just say, I'm not having a good day. And talk about why you're not having a good day. Get it off your chest, get it off your brain, get it off your mind, and just watch how much better you feel. So, we're going to wrap it up. Solo, anything you want to drop before we sign off?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, just to tie it all back together, this, you mentioned a lot of good things, and we're definitely gonna speak into detail about that too. But yeah, it's funny because sometimes, it winds up on one point and it goes off into other points, but it all ties back together because it sets off a chain reaction because, like you said, with getting people together and like starting an investment group or something, you can connect. It's a way to connect with other people outside of the main purpose because, it's like, hey man, you know what, after you discuss what stocks you're going to buy for the week or, you discuss the houses that you found and you decide on what moves you guys are going to make is, you just sit and you have conversations and it's like, well, you know what, while we're on the subject, I was going through something and might have something going on at home, and it helps to connect people together. And the mental health is really important too, because that's really underrated. But, we don't want to, I don't want to drag this out too long, but ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank you again for listening. And this year, 2024, this is like my brother said, this is the year of mental health. This is the year of progress. This is the year of change for the
prosperity.
Better. 100%, all of the above. So we're definitely going to hit the ground running, and we hope you do the same. Until the next time, any questions, comments, concerns, gentlemensdialogue@gmail.com. Reach out to us. Let us know your progress. Let us know how you feel. If you just need an ear to, you need to vent, or you just want to be heard, we're always here. So, outside of that, we'll talk to you next time.
Hey, and the project for January on the weekend, 1 or 2 weekends out of January. Man, go grab yourself a nice bottle of Menage a Trois Blend Red.
Oh, yeah.
And make a fruit tray. Sit down. Turn on some Netflix and just relax.
There you go.
It's time every now and then. It's okay. We got to pump the brakes in life. Sometimes we're going 100 miles an hour every single day. But make sure you start to create that time, that thing that we call me time.
Oh, yes.
Turn your phones off. Start telling people no. They ask you to do some shit. Sometimes you just gotta say no. We always try to, especially when it comes to family. We always, all right, I'll do that for you. I can get that done. But on the inside, you're like, I'll be damned. Man, every time I look up, man, somebody needs something. You know what? Start saying N-O. Say it in a way, you know what? Hey, you know what? My plate is full right now. My schedule is full. I can't do it. You know, maybe next week, if it hadn't been done by then, hey, I'll check back with you. But until then, hey, you know what? Start saying no.
Yeah.
You know, you got people out here. We got family members and friends always want to borrow some damn money. Man, I'll pay you back, man, on my next paycheck. You know what, man? We need to sit down and talk about your funds, because if it's really paycheck to paycheck like that, maybe I can help you.
Yeah.
Maybe I can help you get in a better place, so that you're not asking every family member every other week for $20 for gas until you get paid. We gotta help one another go to the next level.
Yes, sir.
So until our next episode, thank you again for listening to this episode of the Gentleman's Dialogue.